to the best day of my life, and a great day in the history of the city, I think, because after 24 years dark, the Florrie's back. 24 years, yes, she closed the doors in 1988, and 1 year before her centenary. But what can you do? To me, the last quarter of a century has just been a blip in the life of this building, and I'm really, really happy that we played. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm very happy that we played a very small but very significant part in its restoration. It's What do we think about this, boys? Are we happy or what?
This is our heritage centre. Here you'll find basically the history of the Flory from start to finish. In 1885, and here we have a photograph of the main hall in the 80s. In the 1980s, you can see the extent of the damage of the fire. 80% of the roof, all gone. A-frames gone. You've seen them burned, which we've got samples in the Heritage Centre. Now, that hall, totally unrecognisable, fabulously decorated.
It's been a long, long journey, and it's the product of a lot of people's time, blood, sweat and tears.
Hello,
And
nice to meet you.
Hats off to everyone involved. This was genuinely a community effort, and this was the Dingle, is the community that wouldn't let it lie. We just wouldn't let it go. And when people say, isn't it a shame, someone should do something about that? Well, hopefully what our story illustrates is that you can do it. The power is in your hands.
This is
Don't leave it to other people.
And it's just so wonderful to see all the people here, everyone enjoying the place, and just the Florrie just coming back to life after all these years.
And the thing, of course, is that the Florrie is here. It will help with the regeneration of the area. We've created jobs. We're helping businesses by housing them in here, and hopefully they will grow. And we hope to bring a lot of stuff in here, because the other thing is any money we make in here goes back to the community. And that's the key.
Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is Florence Bernardine Hall. She's the reason we're here. And look at this, how beautiful is this piece? You know, look at it. I don't know the name of the sculptor, but apparently he was Queen Victoria's favourite, but I will find that out. But I'm just highlighting this because it's an absolute work of art. It's been a constant throughout the history of the Florrie, and you know, she's our inspiration. But also, just to read the following words, because this is what it's all about. This building was erected in the year 1889 by Bernard Hall, a West India merchant and once mayor of this city, in memory of his daughter Florence, who died in Paris in the year 1887, aged 22, in the hope that it might prove an acceptable place of recreation and instruction for the poor and working boys of this district of the city. So this is a classic example of Victorian philanthropy, back at a time when kids had no shoes on their feet, you know, and was literally starving in the streets. I mean, it's within living memory. And yeah, I just think this, like, we found this when the building was derelict. We found that this was still in place, and that's when I knew that we were going to save the Florrie, because she was still here, guarding the building, you know, and no one had stolen it, or no one had taken a hammer and destroyed it. So this is a real symbol of our regeneration, and it gave us all heart when we found out she was still here.
I say there are probably about 4 major things that will happen here. We've touched on one of them, which is that we've got managed workspace for businesses here. And there's got to be new or emerging businesses or fledgling businesses. So that's one. The second one is we've got the Heritage Resource Centre, which you would have seen, I hope, which will tell you the history of how this came about and what we're doing with it, and it will also show you some of the history of the local area. Attached to that is a library, which people can come and borrow books, and if the book's not there, you will be here the next day if you order it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is we've got a lot of community activities for free for members of the community. We've got activities for young people, we've got activities for older people, we've got activities planned for intergenerational so that the wisdom of the old people can be passed on to the youth. And if you like, the urgency in the youth can be passed on to the older people. But we've got to find a way to make that gel and make it work. And the cash cow for the building is our grand hall, which we hope to hire out to make a lot of money from corporate, because we will hold corporate events in here, but we will also hold weddings and we will have parties and so on. So community members could always come and hire the place at a very, very reasonable price, I hasten to add.
We've been quite successful in raising funds. We've been quite successful in reaching this stage. Let's see now if our community appreciate it, get involved, because it's going to be nothing without the involvement of our community. We need our community. We need everybody out there, every one of you who lives in the dingle, to come and help make this a success. It has to pay for itself.
But we want the Florrie and Pop's Catering, the Florrie, everything all together as a beacon in the dingle, because the Florrie as itself, if they had this anywhere else in Liverpool, they'd be made up, but if they had this anywhere else in Great Britain, they'd be over the moon. This is something special, and we're sort of guardians. We're setting this up to carry on for generations to come, and that's how we want it. That's how we want it to be.